Inspire, motivate, challenge.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks, All
right.
My next question is about, so we can say that your path, what you are doing now is not necessarily the traditional or a traditional path.
Yeah.
For most pharmacists. I mean, most of the time we come out from school, it's either you go into retail, you go into hospital, maybe you work for an NGO, or you work for a pharmaceutical company, just like you started.
And now you jackpot.
Or now you jackpot, and then you still end up in
one of those places, yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But so if somebody comes to you, like a young student or somebody, and says, "Oh, I want to do something like Farm Alliance, or I want to do something similar to what you've done. I want to be more involved in creating solutions for the pharmacy space or network, something similar." Like, what kind of advice do you give such a person?
Okay. So the first thing I always tell anybody is to follow your own path. We all have our paths. Run your race, bottom line. Don't do what Shino is doing. Shino is doing what Shino was called to do. Find out what you were called to do. That is your area that's where you will excel effortlessly. If you are called to retail and you go and be doing production, you will be frustrated. You see, there's this thing, we are all wired in a particular manner. There's something about our wiring. Now, I'm not even talking about the spiritual left yet. There's something about your wiring. There are people who will thrive in research, R&D. There are people who will thrive in marketing. Even in marketing, there are people who will thrive in a multinational and they will do fantastically badly in a generic company. There are people who will thrive madly in a generic company and will fail in a multinational. Know what you are wired to do. And everybody is wired to do, they're wired in a particular way. So there are people who are, when it comes to personalities, there are expressives, there are amiables, there are, all those categorizations, they exist. So it's for you to know where you're at home. Number two, don't look for money. That's one of the biggest issues I find with people. Your blind chase of money will make you lose out on practically everything. And there's a simple formula I use to teach this to young pharmacists, especially. I think next week, just this morning, I found out that the session, YPG, another group I work very closely because I believe strongly in those guys. YPG is organizing a leadership summit, and they say I'll be speaking in the summit. And that's the key message to them. You see, when you're looking for money, there's a process by which money comes. If you break that process, you can't make money. Money comes in exchange for value created. Value is created when you provide the solution. A solution can only be a solution when it's response to a problem. So if you follow that formula, you can't get poor. Anybody you talk about today who is rich legally followed that pathway. Davido, the 30 billion gang, is rich because he created value to a particular set of people. I'm not sure whether I've added a dime to his net worth. However, a number of people out there have added their 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, their download, the fact that they are following him, which makes brands want to associate with him and all those things, And he's only doing that because he's providing a solution. What solution is providing? A solution to your problem of joblessness, laziness, wanting to look for entertainment and all that. So that's the way it works. So the question is, what problem are you seeing in the space that you want to solve? And my brother, there are too many problems in pharmacy. Too many. I can't solve a tenth of them because I'm not wired to see some of them. The guys in manufacturing are facing their own kettle of fish. The guys in hospital have their own problems. The guys in academia have their own problems. There should be somebody who is developing solutions for those problems. If you don't provide the solutions, other people will. And when they do, they'll collect the money you are complaining that doesn't exist. So that has been my guiding principle. So if you're a young pharmacist, there's an area I always challenge young pharmacists in, and that's in the digital economy. understanding the digital economy, which I believe the younger ones are quite vast in. It's an area that I see that most organizations right now don't understand. Even the younger ones, they play a lot in that area, but they don't necessarily understand it. So it's an opportunity area. Practically every area of pharmacy needs help. And so it starts first by adding value where you are, where you find yourself, where you are working, and then being able to identify the problems in that ecosystem, and then building solutions that will address those problems. So once you go out with a problem solution mindset, you can hardly get it wrong. Now, some problems have, or some solutions have different gestation periods. You know, the time it takes for maize to grow is different from the time it takes for orange to grow. And so if you go and pick a very big, fat, juicy problem that will take 5 years for it to crack, you need to bid your time. But when it begins to yield, it will yield for a very long time. Versus when your maize will go after 3, 4, 5 months, you harvest and then you are back to square one. You know, so that's my counsel to people out there. I tell people that in the consulting space, there's limitless opportunity, but then it is not free money. You have to work hard to prove your solution, because people will not want to buy another problem. You must have a solution that's been proven to work, which is why, if in as much as you can, while I do not encourage you using your employer's time wrongly, which is what I made sure I did not do. It's just that if you choose to go this route, you will probably not live a very healthy life, because it means that your evenings, your nights, your leave days, your weekends will be spent building your future. You know, so you can't afford to be partying and then watching films and all that if you are building something on the side. So you do your employer's work 120%. And then do your own work 180%. I don't know what's left of your life.
Basically, you're saying this is not something somebody can just jump into.
You can jump into it if you have liver. Oh, you can. Digital, you can jump into digital from school.
Okay.
You can be earning 6 figures as a student if you understand the solution to the problem. You can be earning it from school. While I was in school, I was working and I was earning money from pharmaceutical companies. Yes, offering. So I don't want to tell you what I was doing for them, but I was earning revenue as a student. So in the same way, you can, you know. And I've only spoken about there's so much that you can do, you know, as long as you can find a solution to problem. I mean, if you can prove to a company that students form, maybe not a pharma company now, but whatever company, that students form a critical mass in their target audience, and you have the ability to harness all those students nationwide into a, my guy, you are there. You know, is it telecoms, is it food, is it Indomie, is it just let them know that secondary school students, so you are the lord of the manor, university students, so you know, you are home and dry. Pharmacy students, so you know, just tell them that, just tell them 5,000 pharmacy students are following you. You can build this, you know, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that, especially nowadays, I realize a lot of school of thoughts, as they call them, are changing or evolving.
Okay.
So I remember there used to be a lot of talk about focus and focusing on maybe one thing at a time.
Yeah. And
things like that. But I mean, if you look at your experience and your career, so you are doing quite a number of things. If you are not working with ACPN today, panel tomorrow, Farm Alliance, you know, all the people that you collaborate with. Yeah. So like, I mean, what's your thought? Just wanted to get your perspective on that, about doing so many things.
As diverse as all of that seems, there's still focus in that is all pharmacy.
Okay.
So I'm not doing for lawyers. I'm not doing it for mechanics. Okay. It's all pharmacy. Okay. So there's still focus there. Now, there is an advantage in being broad, and there's a disadvantage in being broad. There's an advantage in being focused, and there's a disadvantage in being focused. Balance is the key. Now, if you are too focused, anything can happen, and you are not sensitive to what's happening around you. You will find out that you end up in an environment that doesn't exist. All of a sudden, yes, you are blown out and you are totally irrelevant. You know, imagine somebody who has a very fantastic video cassette or audio cassette production facility. If the person, I mean, whoever that is out of business. Now, the smart guy would have been the guy that pivoted into CDs.
Yeah.
But CDs is also gone now. Now, I mean, the keynote speaker for this year, Mrs. Kofo Akikugbe, that was what she was speaking to at the conference, with her company that was into the manufacturing of security cards. Now, the beauty of her keynote was that even right now, she has built another organization that is disrupting that organization to create a cardless organization. Because a day will come when cards will be out of use, and what happens to you at that time? So you had better be the one disrupting yourself rather than being disrupted by competition. And so that is the thought. If you are broad, I mean, the whole of, now the disadvantage in being broad is that you're not able to focus fully on any of those things. I tell people, if I focus all my energies on Farm Alliance, I know where Farm Alliance will be. If I focus all my energies on Moxie, I know where Moxie will be. But because I'm spread across so many things, I'm just able to give a little to each. However, if I didn't have those so many things, there are so many businesses that have died along the way that if that was the only thing I was doing, I'd have been asking you for employment as a senior brand manager.
Okay,
Wherever.